One. Mr. Speaker, ladies and gentlemen, as an average reasonable person, if you're going to say X or something is not sustainable in the long run, you have to be able to prove A, why that bad stuff is specific to that thing, and B, what would be more sustainable if you're saying that that bad thing is not sustainable. I don't think SideGov was able to do either of those because, at best, a lot of what they say is characterizing how the Philippines is imperfect, how the Philippines is harmful. Though I appreciate the optimism, that's exactly where our case begins and their case ends, exactly at the point in which we want to be able to have a global and bigger perspective of how things work and not get trapped into our own country, which they do characterize to be not necessarily the best place. A couple of reasons why their side cannot take this debate. The first is in terms of motion understanding and burden fulfillment. Gov says, it's not a policy, so there's no model for us to prove. But I think quite clearly, we were able to cast a shadow of doubt in terms of that, wherein we said, a lot of what you're saying, gang, is very speculative. The Philippines can get better. The Philippines can get worse. The geopolitical arena can get better, can get worse. Take a look at what's happening in the US. Elon and Donald Trump were homies before. Now they're having an LQ. A lot of these things are speculative. We don't know what's going to happen, which is exactly why we want to spread our bets and not necessarily box ourselves to the Philippines, who has a nascent at best or non-existent manufacturing industry for specialization. We rather have people continue working abroad, earning a lot in a dollar or foreign denominated currency, which is likely to be on average stronger, that they send back home to people who love and care about them. The second idea is in terms of the nuance to OFW remittances. The motion isn't, this house regrets OFW culture, or this house believes that OFW culture does more harm than good. This is uniquely a debate about where we get money, where we've gotten money before, and where we're likely going to be able to get money in the future. Coming from Jaron's extension, in my case bolstered by Ella, we prove why OFWs are, sure, not perfect, but at least they're likely to be safe and guaranteed way to be able to earn. On their particular side, I'm not entirely sure where you're going to be able to get that. They have literally no response to that. Side government at best tries to be able to explain what's going to happen. They try and talk about maybe agri or other stuff, but their case is ultimately used against them because they also characterize it to be korakot and kind of efficient. So what's going to happen, right? I'm not saying the Philippines is wrecked forever. In fact, we're saying a lot of the money that they send here can actually be used to make it better, but so that we're not trapped or outcome dependent on those things happening, we particularly rather not place all our eggs in one basket and be able to diversify, because the metrics we set out from this debate, check the flow of your notes coming from my speech, talking about GDP, talking about access to money, talking about political leverage, and talking about being able to prevent employment and underemployment, exactly how it happens because of OFW remittances and what that happens. Lastly, and quite importantly, we think that side government at best is trying to say that, there are a lot of problems here. But we think uniquely, because of OFW remittances, we're able to sidestep potential harms, where in their case is path and outcome dependent on the Philippines being able to create an industry, being able to grow it, people being able to be there. Ultimately, ladies and gentlemen, on their side, there is no safety net, and on our side, OFW remittances exactly is that safety net that allows us to be able to weather the storm and be able to position us towards what happens in the future, for better or for worse. We are very proud to stand on side negative. Thank you.